Man, oh man, am I fired up after that big, massive W that we got last night. That was much needed. What a performance. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Meet on the Fifth. You know what it is. You know what I'm rocking. I'm rocking the Chad Ochocinco, the newest inductee into the Bengals Ring of Honor. And we're going with the pterodactyl flaps. Yeah, I'm flying out of here because I'm so excited that the Bengals finally got their crap together and absolutely put on a dominant performance. We have all of that, plus a return of a segment that we dropped last year, thanks to our co-host. So, without further ado, let's start the show. Welcome back. Welcome back to our Week 3 edition, Week 3 review edition of Meet on the Fifth. You know what it is. Hello, how's it going, guys? I am, of course, one half of the Sports Guys. My name is Jacob Cutler, and as always, joining me to break down the action that we just saw, one of my best friends, and also my co-host. Here he is, Mr. Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, how you doing?
Good. Happy to be back. These weeks have been flying, Jake. That's for sure. I can't believe we are already in week 4. It just seems like time is just flying. That's how I feel.
Tell me about it. Basically, we were excited for preseason. We do our first episode, and now we're basically already on like our 4th or 5th episode, heading in to week 4, but we're going to talk about week 3. And these weeks have been flying by, and man, oh man, has your team been putting on one hell of a performance to start off the season. And we're going to definitely talk about that. But if you follow along, if not, every Friday we drop our weekly picks episode where we are picking what we think is going to happen that week in the NFL. And if you've been following along, you know that this year is the season of the guest. So we've been having a special guest join us for the first 3 weeks, and they have also been giving their picks. So let's just quickly review how we have been doing. Put it up on the screen. So for Brandon, last week, 10-6, 1-0 on his guaranteed victory, guaranteeing that the Chiefs would absolutely dominate the Bears. And that's exactly what happened. Taylor Swift and all the Swifties coming to town. Man, oh man.
I don't think about that anymore.
Yeah.
It's just man.
For myself, also 10-6, 1-0 on my guaranteed victory, because I also rode with the Chiefs, absolutely dominating the Bears, which is what happened. But that wasn't the story of week 3. And then Isaac Gonzalez, who was our guest last week, going 9-7, 1-0 on his guaranteed victory, absolutely nailing the Dolphins over the Broncos. And his score prediction was 42-20, so he nailed the Broncos score, but he was only 28 points short of the Dolphins score. Yeah, an NFL team scoring 70 points. We're going to get into it. But overall for the season, that puts us at, I love it, we are basically dead even. Brandon, 28-20, 3-0 in his guaranteed victory. Myself, 29-19, 2-1 on my guaranteed victories. And for our guests for the season, 27-21, 2-1 on their guaranteed victories. All of us right there together. All of us just right in that mix, that packed, hanging tough. 28-20, 29-19, and 27-21. Let's wipe those off the screen because, like I teased, we have a return of a segment, the brainchild of none other than our co-host here, Mr. Brandon Sullivan. So without further ado, let's bring it back You know what it is. It's the good, it's the bad, and it's the ugly. All righty, let's get into it. We've got the good, we've got the bad, and we've got the ugly. Brandon, I'm going to start with you. What good did you see from week 3?
Yeah, I think we saw quite a bit of good for us.
Definitely.
The Niners dominating the Giants on primetime football Thursday night. Super excited to see, Brock Purdy obviously pick things up in the second half and really throw some, amazing touchdown passes, especially, to the sideline. And kind of those passes that we didn't really see from, past quarterbacks like Jimmy Garoppolo and, Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick, some of the big names. So, I just excited for, Christian McCaffrey, another game, another touchdown, ties Jerry Rice for 12 straight regular season games with a touchdown. So that's a big accomplishment.
I did not see that.
I believe it's 12 straight regular season games with a touchdown. I believe that's what it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the chat, but I believe that's what it was. It's an all-around dominant performance. Then obviously the Bengals coming through to last night. Huge.
That one felt good.
Joey's still not 100%. You could tell.
Nope.
Jamar Chase making some big plays, and the defense were getting after. They were getting after. Stafford. That was incredible performance.
Yeah.
So those two games, obviously, I would say would highlight the good. I just super stoked for both of us. It was a must win, absolutely, for Cincinnati. You don't want to go 0-3.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Niners handling business on Thursday night against the Giants, which we definitely thought was going to happen. Giants, the Niners, I think everybody's kind of under the same assumption that Niners definitely best team in the NFL currently. And then from the morning, we talked about it a little, or I talked about it a little bit in the picks episode, but the Jacksonville Jaguars always struggle against the Houston Dumpster Fire Texans, and that's just what happened. It happened again. Houston Dumpster Fire Texans pulling out a great victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and CJ Stroud looking very nice. Tank Dell looking very nice. So a lot of good pieces there. We found out that Buffalo's the real deal, and the Washington Commanders, they got a little bit brought back to reality. So that was a little good. But, the main good that we saw was the Miami Dolphins. Absolutely Madden beating the crap out of the Denver Broncos. We're talking Tua with 4 touchdowns, Tyreek Hill with a touchdown, Devon, Achane, with 3 touchdowns, Raheem Mostert, thank you, Raheem. I had you in fantasy. Thank you. Great. I really appreciate it. Going absolutely bananas. And then Mike McDaniel becoming my new favorite head coach of all time because, who wouldn't want to beat the crap out of the Denver Broncos? Who wouldn't want to beat the crap out of Sean Payton and Russell Wilson? Also, for those of you who don't know, Mike McDaniel, born and raised in Colorado, lifelong Broncos fan, Broncos ball boy at 15 years old, becomes an NFL assistant coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, all that good stuff. Then gets some job interviews. Guess who doesn't interview him? The Denver Broncos. So if you want to talk about karma, that's the karma. Afternoon games, Dallas Cowboys, just doing what the Dallas Cowboys do, being very mediocre sometimes. Arizona Cardinals pulling out a big win. Kansas City Chiefs absolutely dominating the Bears. The Raiders absolutely dominating the Bears. We'll get to that. But a lot of good, like you said. And then my Bengals to round it out the good. Man, oh man, you said it. That defensive performance was ridiculous. Trey Henderson could not be stopped. Dax Hill had a great performance. Logan Wilson, 2 interceptions. All around phenomenal performance by the Cincinnati Bengals, getting their first victory of the year. I'll take it. Give me one. Much rather would have the Super Bowl, but I'll take the revenge game against the Rams. Now, I teased the Raiders because let's move on to the bad. Brandon, what bad did you see in week 3?
I'm going to start with Tennessee. Dan Hill, the Titans, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I just feel like Henry's got to go. He can't be playing for the Titans. I mean, it's just such a waste of a career. You get so far and, 1 year and then you never get back. And I got to say Tennessee, I mean, what horrible. And obviously going on to New Orleans and Green Bay, bad that Derek Carr got hurt. Obviously had a good lead and then they kind of squandered it because, Winston came in and couldn't do anything. So good for Green Bay, but not good for New Orleans. Hopefully Derek Carr's okay. Haven't gotten an update on that. And then obviously another major blow for the Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously not good for Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
0-3, but obviously Mike Williams tearing his ACL, being out for the year, that's critical for the Chargers. Obviously Joshua Palmer is going to have to step up. And then obviously finally moving on to obviously I want to include Baltimore. I kind of had a feeling if there was going to be an upset, it was going to be Indianapolis over Baltimore. I couldn't believe that game.
Oh, okay.
Matt Gay breaking a record, I think 4 or 5, straight 50-plus yard field goals in the game.
Something like that.
Yeah, just able to take the Baltimore Ravens to overtime and defeat them. So that was, obviously Baltimore not looking good in that one. It's kind of bad for Baltimore. You don't drop a game against Indianapolis at home. And then finally, the Raiders. Just unfortunate. I think Jimmy was rattled, and when Jimmy doesn't get protected and he gets rattled, he tends to make some critical errors, and I think that's what we saw. I mean, he got hurt. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to come back into the game. I was hoping it wasn't anything serious. I was glad to see him come back, but I think at that point, your confidence is kind of shot. Your line's not protecting you, and then obviously it doesn't excuse the mistakes that he made, but it's more of an explanation. Raiders got to find a way to turn things around because you don't want to start going on this losing streak. Obviously they beat Denver and then they lost 2 straight. So those were the bad takeaways that I had for this week.
Yeah, the bad I got for you and for everybody, basically. We got the Minnesota Vikings dropping a crucial game at home, now going to 0-3. Luckily, not in the most competitive division. You definitely can't go 0-3 in the AFC West. You may be able to go 0-3 in the NFC North. So we'll see what happens overall with that division, but certainly starting the season 0-3, not good, because it leads right into my next bad point, which is Zach Wilson. I mean, he can almost be part of the ugly. Zach Wilson has got to go. He has got to go. And like everybody is basically implying, the Jets should do whatever they can do to either get Kirk Cousins, Jameis Winston. I mean, even Jameis playing, I would feel more confident out there than Zach Wilson. I would feel more confident with a lot of guys over Zach Wilson at this point.
More confident.
I mean, even... Yeah. If you haven't seen, Colin Kaepernick has personally sent a letter to the Jets offering his services as a practice squad QB, letting them know that he will get their defense ready. He'll do it. Yes, I would even take Colin Kaepernick over Zach Wilson to answer your question. I mean, Holy moly. Holy moly. Jaguars dropping a bad game at home to the Texans like they normally do every single year. They usually split 1-1. So you gotta win these games, man. Especially against the Texans. What other bad things did we see? Derek Carr, it was confirmed it's his AC joint. So another one of his shoulder injuries, AC joint injuries. So that's going to basically, he's going to be week to week, very limited, most likely, in what he's going to be able to do for the rest of the season. And then, other than that, you had some other performances. I mean, you had the Panthers. They weren't really bad, but, they're just not going to be a good team. They are going to be mediocre. And then, I guess, if that was all the bad, let's move on to the ugly, because there is some ugly, and some of these teams deserve to be dumped on right now. So, Brandon, what ugly do you got for us?
Well, starting off, we're going to go to Denver. We are going to go to Miami. Played, obviously, but Denver, just absolute embarrassing performance. Getting lit up 70-20. To be honest with you, I would have rather seen the Miami Dolphins set the point record. They didn't. They could have kicked a field goal. Denver is just an absolute joke. Welcome back to the NFL, Sean Payton. That's what our good friend Dylan said, and that is true. How's things going? You know what? His press conference after that game showed it all. He was just nothing but frustrated. But you just thought you were going to come back after all these years, after your stupid bounty gate, all that crap. And, it just, whatever. So here's my thing, 70-20, it's funny. It's funny. It's just funny.
70-20.
70-20. The Russell Wilson led Denver Broncos getting lit up. I love it. Shouts out to Miami. They're an incredible team. I think they did all that without Jalen Waddle, so it's just even more funny that Tyreek Hill just completely lit you up. There's nothing you could do about it, and then they just ran all over you. It was just a bloodbath. So just one of the ugliest games I've ever seen. Moving on, like you said, Zach Wilson, one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen. The guy is so arrogant. He's just it's a joke. I cannot believe there was even a point in my life that I wanted him to be the quarterback of the 49ers. I can't even believe it. Maybe after this is over, he could do something for Disney Plus or something like that. Moving on, Washington football team. They 37 points at home, getting lit up. That's very ugly. I expected more from them than to put up a retread 3 points at the end of the game. You're grasping for straws. That was, that 3 points shouldn't even have counted. So, and then obviously Kansas City destroying the Bears. Justin Fields is proving that he's not a good quarterback. He doesn't know how to read NFL defenses.
Anything at all. He doesn't.
He's not. He's just not it. He's just not it. And now, I can't excuse, Shanahan and John Lynch for not drafting him, because they went ahead and drafted pretty much a Justin Fields 2.0 with Trey Lance. The guy doesn't know how to read defenses either. It feels like. I don't know. But he's injury prone. I don't know what's worse, not being able to read defense, being injury prone. But I'm just saying, both of those quarterbacks, I don't see working out in the NFL. We've been watching this for a long time. You either have it or you don't, and both of those quarterbacks do not appear to have it. So we can give them a little bit more time, sure, but time's ticking. And then last but not least, your Dallas Cowboys dropping a big win to
Josh Dobbs, baby.
Josh Dobbs, the journeyman quarterback. I think he was drafted by Pittsburgh 5 or 6 years back. I know that he's been on some practice squads. I know that he was on multiple teams. But what a surprising performance for Arizona, but just an ugly performance for Dallas. Yep. Dak Prescott.
Where's Dak throwing?
Yeah.
Where are you throwing, Dak? He's throwing to me right here.
Yeah, I think he was playing for the Cardinals on Sunday. So just a big loss for the Dallas Cowboys. I was not expecting this with all the hype. They're going to give the 49ers the most, trouble they're gonna be the 49ers are gonna have to go to Dallas for the NFC Championship. Just all this stuff I was hearing, and me, I wasn't falling for it. So
No.
the Dallas Cowboys, the media, everybody always hypes up the Dallas Cowboys just for it to get torn down pretty quickly. But so that was my ugly of the week.
Yeah, the Denver Broncos, the fact that Vance Joseph still has a job, ridiculous for the Broncos. Doesn't make any sense. The fact that you're allowed to allow 70 points and still continue to work, ridiculous. Broncos, Bears will meet next week for the battle of the crappiest team in the NFL. Cannot wait to see it. And guess what? The home team, Chicago Bears, are an underdog. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And then Chicago Bears could not even put up any type of performance against the Chiefs. Chiefs basically did what we had kind of all thought they were going to do, which was absolutely dominate. Absolutely dominate. And then the Commanders, Sam Howell. What was it? Was it 4 interceptions? It was a lot of interceptions. Bills came to play. Bills are coming to play. Definitely look like kind of they're hitting their stride. They're doing what they need to do. But the Commanders, definitely a very disappointing performance at home. Same thing with the Jets. Zach Wilson, just like, I don't want to harp on the kid too much, but man, oh man, you just got to be able to do something, my friend. And then, the Dallas Cowboys are going to do what the Dallas Cowboys did, but my uglies were definitely the Broncos, the Commanders at home, and the Chicago Bears. All three not putting up any type of fight, any type of performance. Nothing at all. One thing I will say, I'll backtrack to the good because I did not mention them, but the Eagles, I will say, finally had a complete performance, although it was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They did have a good, complete performance, but we'll see what happens with the Eagles. Look at that. That's how you do the good, the bad, the ugly, because that will do it for this edition of Meat on the 50. That is our review episode. We're done with week 3. We're moving on to week 4. We got a picks episode coming for you as well. So, as always, Brandon and I want to thank you, our viewers, for taking the time, tuning in, for checking us out, for hearing what we have to say week in, week out. We definitely appreciate it, and we hope that we keep you coming back for more. Brandon, any last words for the people?
I think it only feels appropriate with the 285s on today. Let's hope that we are 1 week closer to being in the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, Nevada. So let's one step closer to Super Bowl 58. I hope that those wins tally towards that.
I like it. Yeah, I definitely like it. That's true. Both of us are wearing 85. I didn't even realize that. But that's how it is done. Definitely. We're moving towards Las Vegas. We're moving towards the biggest game of the year. And it's going to be crazy no matter who is in the game. But like I said, that's going to do it for this edition of Meat on the 50. That is our review episode. We are moving on to our picks episode. So make sure if at any time during this video you like anything that you saw, you do us a favor. You smash that like button. You tap on that subscribe button. And then you just tap on that bell notification. That way anytime new videos drop, you're right there consuming the content, because we're dropping content all season long. That's going to do it. And you know who we are. But if not, I'll reintroduce ourselves. I am Jacob Culler, one half of the Sports Guys. He is Brandon, one of my best friends, and also the other half of the Sports Guys. And for us, for Brandon and Jake, we will see you in our picks episode. Brandon and Jake, we're out.